Knock, knock. Who's there? The divine. The divine who? That's what I'd like to know. When people say that the Spirit of the Lord or Lords or Gods or Deity has entered them and they're in an ecstatic state, well, who is it really that's answering that knock? Stick around and let's find out. Live, trance, and prosper. Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Brian David Phillips, and I have this episode of Pastoral Questions. We have a question from Paul, and Paul is responding to my post about the grass eaters and the gas drinkers earlier. Just go back to our archives and you can look for the Pastor Lisego Daniel posting that I did. But Paul asks the question, "Hi Brian, I'd like to get your thinking on the connection with the divine. A spirit realm exists, does it not? Then who is the connection with?" Well, Paul, thanks for the question. It's one that I've actually thought about for some time, and there's just no solid answer beyond it depends. One's answer to that question will depend a great deal upon one's belief systems. For the folks at Rabboni Ministries listening to Pastor Lisego Daniel, they assume it's God with a capital G who's answering that knock, who's delivering an ecstatic state. Now, for an atheist or an agnostic or an anti-theist, they'd likely characterize it as simply a manifestation of unconscious drives. They would reject your presupposition that a spirit realm exists. Obviously, a heathen, that's with a capital H, would consider it Odin or Freya or any number of animistic divine constructs, and likewise other religious belief systems might assume still other deities or spirits or whomever. Now for me, and this is just for me, my beliefs are of a more amorphous nature in that, to me, most gods are constructs, extensions of the divine, an amorphous proto-demiurge, if you will, that flows through creation, the oneness and the many and all that. I say most gods here, not all, at least not in my belief. Certainly mimetic entities might be problematic for that. Mimetic entities, you can look at the work of Richard Dawkins or others who have borrowed that idea of meme creations in the occult and magic as well. And so that can be simply a projection of our thoughts. However, my beliefs also say that those projections can become entities unto themselves, thought forms or tulpa, if you will, which I've spoken on before in other contexts, in other channels or other venues and things like that. Now, but even then, a mimetic entity might be problematic, but even other divine entities may not be full constructs. They may not be mimetic. They may be something else, just an idea or a scam for some, or a genuine extension of some sort of energy that flows from the oneness and many. Now, the ecstatic state may be a connection to the divine. All right? It may and certainly can be, at least in my belief system, but it can also be simply a projection of the unconscious. Folks like Lesego Daniel, for instance, become problematic in that while it is clear to outside observers that he is using the power of suggestion in much the same way that a hypnotist does, he even uses commands the way a hypnotist does, in that he says, "Sleep now," and gives suggestions for behavior that a stage hypnotist might use. But his parishioners would not experience it as a hypnotic suggestion. Rather, to those people, they might, in short, see it as a connection to the divine. Okay. Personally, I consider his work to be less problematic in that I do not consider it to be divinely inspired. And I know that offends some folks. I already got some angry emails from folks who were offended by my analysis in the grass eaters, gas drinkers video, that lecture that I posted. But it is my assessment that he's merely relying on suggestion. Now, I'm not saying that he's not honest in his approach. He may fully believe that he is speaking through divine inspiration. Or he could just be yet another in a long line of con artists who are using suggestion to hoodwink and bilk others. A good reference for that might be, go see the Academy Award-winning documentary Marjo, which detailed Marjo Gortner's work as an evangelical who did many of the same type of things, who did not believe in any of the divinely inspired stuff. His parishioners did, but he was in fact hoodwinking them. I personally put Lesego Daniel in that category from what I've seen of his work. Others may not see that. I think it is. However, there are plenty of examples of folks who enter into what they believe to be a genuine, divinely inspired ecstatic state. And whether that is a reflection of spirit and the flow of divine is something we can't answer objectively. We can't test for the divine. We can only have faith in it. However, what divine you're interacting with may indeed reflect your own belief systems. And your belief systems may or may not have an objective connection to what's really out there. It may just be a subjective construct, or perhaps, as I believe, it's a whole lot of both. I'm sorry I couldn't answer more clearly. There is no clear answer, but I do thank you for your question. I hope that this rambling answer has been helpful. If you enjoyed it, please click subscribe. I hope we'll see you again. On Tuesdays we have news and we have rants. Wednesdays it's pastoral questions, much the same way as this. And of course Thursday is trance time, where I guide you through a delightful trance experience. Until next time, though, this is Dr. Brian David Phillips saying, live trance and prosper.